Open the door, Amy.
I can't. I don't have a key on it.
Who's here? So how long you been messing around my wife?
What you mean?
What do you mean what I mean? No. You want me to leave?
No.
Are you in love?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, this Facebook Live, your daughter sees that, and your wife sees that.
What you mean?
Your wife added her tonight. When I seen my wife was at a motel.
Man, you don't even know my wife. Get out of my face.
Yo, you got a fucking problem?
No,
Huh?
You got a fucking problem?
Nah, I ain't got no problem. What you mean my wife see that shit?
Cause it's Facebook Live.
Nah, get me out that shit, bro. Cause you don't know who I am. Get me out that shit.
You stupid bitch! You filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
70% of divorces that happen over 40 are initiated by women. Okay, why is that? Now, I'm not trying to keep everybody married. I'm not trying to get everybody pregnant. I'm just asking people to think of their hormones. Well, as she loses these hormones, there are so many brain changes that are happening. And because she doesn't understand herself, she thinks it's your problem. She thinks it's her teenage kid's problems. She thinks it's her aging parents' problem. She thinks it's work's problem. She doesn't go, oh, okay, wait, I've got some neurochemical changes going on in my brain that I need to make sure that my lifestyle supports. And she doesn't, since that conversation isn't open, she turns on everybody else. For years, I had so many women that came into my clinic and they said, whatever you do, please help me stay out of my doctor's office. And I was like, why? Because they don't understand me. And when they don't understand me, all they do is give me an antidepressant. And I feel so lost in what I'm supposed to do to help my own brain health, help my own body health. And we start dishing out supplements and prescriptions when there's a lifestyle that women are working against.
Delusional girl math.
There are a lot of women who need abuse to feel love because they've been abused all their life. And most of the people who abuse them so-called supposedly love them. So there's a lot of women who like to fight just to fuck. Fight and make up. Best sex you can have. So there's a lot of women who believe being toxic. When she get mad, she hits you in the head, knowing you go hit her back or drop that fight, knowing there's a possibility you can go to jail.
And then fucking go to sleep.
That's toxic love. But as unhealthy as that is, that becomes an addiction.
Which is what I think we're watching with those two right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a Whack here last week where we actually asked them, like, what is it an addiction?
You can get your woman addicted to because the dopamine, the chemicals that the brain produces, the emotions that's tied to the act of fighting that comes from the sex makes that fulfilling and appealing.
But what's the conclusion of a toxic relationship like that?
One of them go to jail or one die. They severely scar one another. And it causes childhood trauma for whatever child they produce.
Niggas treating a woman the same exact way. That socialization is acceptable. Men will be men, girl. And you know that. That's why y'all will sit around and have a conversation, a literal conversation that says, girl, is him putting my life at risk a deal breaker? Like, y'all sit around and have conversations like that. This man is cheating on you. And you're sitting around in a circle with other women asking each other, is that a deal breaker? And you're going to tell me that men are not socialized to mistreat women and you're socialized to accept it? You will sit around with women and pontificate on a man putting your life at risk and say, is that a fucking deal breaker? Bitch, it should be. Especially with the HIV rates looking the way they do. Because while you want to say, oh, maybe they're bisexual, no, they're having sex with other women. And y'all are contracting this virus. Because it's acceptable for a man to put a woman's life at risk, whether she's having a baby for him, your life is being put at risk, or whether you're allowing him to stick his raw dick in other women and he bring it home and you sit on it and put it in your goddamn mouth and ass. You actually sit around and say is cheating a deal breaker, huh? You'd rather stay connected to a man who doesn't give a fuck about your life. You would rather stay connected because society will say, girl, you couldn't keep a man, so you might as well stay with him, full of all the germs he's given you, full of all the germs, all the STIs, all the STDs, all the viruses, all the diseases, all the infections. You sit around with other women and say, is cheating a deal breaker?
The average number of sexual partners that a person in America has before they get married is 4.5. That is a recipe for a complete disaster. A recipe for disaster because they've played married. They've insulted the institution of marriage 4.5 times in sustained relationships, 4.5 times. And now they're going to try it a 5th time. And the chances that it's going to work, very small, very small. St. John Chrysostom says, bring the gift of chastity, offer that to your spouse, and you are bringing the best possibility of having a beautiful, fruitful marriage for many years. Today, infidelity is normative. It's normative, and the pain that is suffered by spouses who betray each other and the children who witness the betrayal of their parents is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. Cultivating chastity and faithfulness is the most important thing to bring to marriage. It's more important than bringing money. It's more important than bringing education. It's more important than bringing property. None of those things are bad, but those are not the necessary things for marriage. Thinking that they are has led our culture, even those who still get married, has led our culture to marry late.
I want to dismantle this thought that it's too late.
Yes.
Because I think that I'm a millennial, and like millennial women were really set up for the okie doke because they told us from when we were little, don't depend on anybody. Make sure you get your own. Always be independent. Go to college. Get an education. Don't have a don't put a man before your, like, we were hammered. The messaging was go to college, have something that you can stand on, and then think about a man and a baby. And a lot of us did that, and what that did was it made us older, entering motherhood. We started thinking about making a family later, and then I feel like we just got shamed on the back end. And we were like, wait a minute, but I thought this is what we were supposed to do.
Delusional girl math.
A lot of shit pissed me off. Like, we got these females getting tricked by feminism. Did feminism really trick females, or did females actually get to do everything they wanted to do previous? Now we know that females didn't get to vote and buy property and own a lot of things that men got to own back in the early 1900s. But this is 2025. These women get to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And what have women been doing with the freedoms bestowed on them, the voting power and my body, my choice? What have they been doing with the choices that they gave them? All right, so we gotta understand that this is the things they've been wanting to do for a long time. You know, we've had this religious doctrine that stop women from doing certain things, and chastity belts, and not letting them leave the house by themselves, because we knew that men can manipulate women into doing things they don't need to be doing. You know, just like if we go all the way back to Adam and Eve, and Adam told Eve to not do certain things in the garden. Next thing you know, as soon as Adam leave, a nigga all in Eve's ear. Now Eve over here doing crazy shit and trying to convince Adam to do crazy shit. This is what I'm talking about, people. Have feminism given women the apple? Did they? Oh, wait. Shout out to Coach. God damn. He already broke this down. He already said women have been bestowed this power now. Have the power to make your own money, make your own choices, do whatever you want, fuck who you want to fuck. This is the power that we've given them. When it was the father that was like, "Hey, you can't date my daughter. Hey, that's a bad boy. You can't. No, 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 no way." You know what I'm saying? Putting his foot down. She damn near have to run away on some Romeo and Juliet shit and die with Romeo for her to go against the father's wishes. Now I digress, but I'm just saying that feminism make women believe that they have the power of the average dude, the average man. You know, we can actually see that the man lifts more, he can run faster, you know, just physical attributes. Okay. Then we go to the brain function. All right. Women like to say they brain develop quicker, or maybe they just their bodies develop quicker. And now that they have this self-proclaimed adulthood, that they go and start doing adult things at 14, 15, 16, and next thing you know, you're a teen mom. Now we're trying to stop women from believing in this feminism thing that you could do what you want to with your damn body, all right, and not reap the repercussions or what's the word I'm looking for? Damages that you're going to be dealing with from doing whatever the fuck you want to. Not only that, you're making these decisions so early in life, you really don't even know what life has in store for you. So if you take these decisions that you're making and make them later in life, that's not good either. Because now you can only give the man 1, 2, 3 babies, maybe. You know, if you start having babies at 30, 35, your womb can't actually adjust to what's supposed to be happening and having multiple babies, not just 1 or 2. That's not actually going to get the birth rate up like we need in America or in Japan or any of these damn countries that's ending up in uh, uh, poverty or anything because they'd have less manpower to build shit, to get shit, truck shit in and boat shit in and everything else, fly shit in. We're losing manpower. Now they're building fucking robots and we see what's going on. Feminism flooded the workplace with more people than needed. Now we have to pay everybody a certain amount or whatever the case might be. And now the company is just going to start paying people less. Why? Because I have so many people wanting to do this job. I have 100 people willing to work this job, men and women, instead of just 50 people or just men wanting to work this job. So now I got 100 people. Now I can say, I'll pay y'all $7 an hour. Who gonna take it? It might not be that 100 people that raise their hand, but maybe 10 people out of the 100 people will raise their hand. Now they're giving you less fucking wages. But see, nobody understands this dumbass part of the economy where they're just going to use your own willingness to work against you. This is retarded, is stupid. Did feminism fuck up the way women think? I think so. Did feminism fuck up the way men think? Yeah. Did feminism fuck up the way the world thinks? Of course. And I think that it was already written by this dude named Albert Pike that planned on taking over the world, right? Uh, and turning all y'all into sissy boys. I think it was already written by this Mason planned on turning all the women against the men, knowing that women can't defend themselves, kick the men out the house, then come over and take over the house for the women. So that's gonna be an easy kill. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to figure out. If we separate the family and then have them both living on their own, paying rent, I get both incomes now. Oh, you buying shoes, you buying shoes. No problem. You buying a TV, you buying a dresser set, you buying couches and shit. You buying couches at your house. She's buying couches at her house. Everybody. The only person that wins is a corporation and the company. It's not you niggas. You're not going to be able to save no goddamn money being on your own like this. You need a family to build wealth. I digress. It is what it is, man. Size acceptance and we ain't having it. Like, comment, subscribe.